Handling legal matters is stressful. So, let the law offices of Frank Bruno Jr. provide you with the insightful counsel you deserve. The law offices of Frank Bruno Jr. has successfully handled thousands of cases for 25 plus years. They focus on elder law and estate planning, but are equipped to navigate you through all stages of family law and divorce to real estate law and probate. The law offices of Frank Bruno. Call 718-418-5000 or visit them at frankbrunolaw.com. That's frankbrunolaw.com. Frank Bruno. He's your numero uno.
A common sense recap of the day's biggest stories. It's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby. Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
And Rita, we have our next guest.
Yeah, we sure do. We have Wilson Henderson. He's the executive director of Stonewall Rebellion Veterans Association. It is the 55th anniversary in 2 days of Stonewall, of course, which, was the driving fight for gay rights. Wilson, tell us about just how important Stonewall is and what it means to you. Here it is, the 55th anniversary coming up.
Well, it is the 55th anniversary now, and if I may, who's this, Rita?
Yes, this is Rita.
Okay,
Sorry
John.
about that. Yep, Rita and John, and we have Ed and the governor and Judge Weinberg.
Wow. Clearly not Stonewall veterans, but okay, so I'm Wilson Lee Henderson, just so the audience has the full name, and I'm the elected director of the Stonewall Rebellion Veterans Association.
Well, great to have you here, Wilson Lee Henderson. Thank you. Tell us the importance of this, because obviously Stonewall represents so much, and we have many folks who obviously are huge supporters of what happened at Stonewall in terms of the thrusting of the gay rights movement. Talk about the importance for everybody.
Well, the importance is that on June 27th, 1969, it was a Friday, by the way, that was Judy Garland's funeral here in Manhattan. And Judy Garland, as you all know, was an international icon, but particularly a gay icon. When I say gay, that's all the different divisions, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, etc. So that was her funeral right here in Manhattan that day. She left Campbell's funeral home down to St. Pat's. And that night, in particular, at the Stonewall Club, and I guess any other gay clubs, people were very upset. They were emotionally drained. There were a lot of votive candles. This all ties into the rebellion. That's why it happened. It looked more like a chapel, the original Stonewall Club. I'm not talking about what's there now. Forget that. So it looked more like a chapel, but they were playing the jukebox songs. I was dancing to them, but it was a very, very sad evening. Judy was the number one story that whole week since she died that prior Sunday in England. So the cops picked, and by the way, they admitted it afterwards. They've been to our meetings and our conferences. They admitted they picked the wrong night. In other words, it would have been like raiding a black club the night that Martin Luther King died. So this was the same analogy with Judy Garland. She was, one of the few that gay people could identify with because of her life and emotional traumas and all. So they came in at 1:30 in the morning. I was dancing to a Diana Ross and the Supreme song, and they turned on the white lights and held certain people. I figured they'd hold me because I was in commercial modeling, who wouldn't? So they let 90% of the people out, but they held about 15 or so. And that's when the trouble started, is when they were taking us out one by one, and that the crowds were building. By the way, straight people don't get credit for this. Most of the people out there were straight. This was at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning on June 27th, 1969. And so the straights were very supportive, saying, let them go, let them go. So they took me to St. Vincent's Hospital because I said that they heard me.
Wow.
Yeah.
William Lee Henderson, important. Wilson, forgive me, Wilson Lee Henderson, the executive director of Stonewall Rebellion Veterans Association. Really powerful to hear the struggle. Thank you so much for spotlighting and reminding people what happened.
And thank you, Rita. And by the way, for the audience.
How about me?
Yeah, what about John?
The website is www.stonewallvets.org.
Stonewallvets.org. Thank you. Wilson Lee Henderson, thank you.
Hi, Mr. Katz. Bye-bye.
Good to hear from you.
Thank you very much.
All right.